What's up, guys? We got Gotham Knights, the final preview from IGN. Finna check it out right now. Let's go.
Over the course of our month-long IGN First coverage, we saw a lot about the world and lore of Gotham Knights, the crafting and gear mechanics, the suits and customization options, but there's been one green Riddler-esque question mark surrounding the whole game up to this point. How does it play? Well, I played about 3 hours of it at a recent hands-on event, and the answer is, well, it's complicated. What's for certain, at least, is that Gotham Knights is a wildly ambitious effort that feels appropriately massive and dense, to the point where even a heavily guided 3-hour demo felt like just a scratch on the surface. My demo was broken up into 4 chunks. I played the tutorial that involved following a lead on Batman's last case, then jumped into a new save to play the first chapter of Harley Quinn's multi-part villain arc, then continued with several open world challenges related to Harley's story, and to put a cap on the event, I jumped into a late game save that let me and the internet's own Destin Legary face off against Harley in the finale of her arc. And that leads to one of the main reasons why my takeaways from this event are complicated. Gotham Knights is a game that is centered around building up your character, setting and understanding your own skills and gear, and developing your own playstyle. Something
optional.
that I just didn't really get to do, since I was jumping around to different save files and trying out the different characters.
Optional art.
Without that feeling of building up my own character and progressing through their skill tree, combat felt like it was missing a key ingredient. On a very basic level, Gotham Knights combat is built on the foundation of the Batman Arkham games. But once you get past the shallow waters, things go in very different directions. Here's where things will be familiar. You press the direction and the attack button, and your character gracefully spins, leaps, or slides towards the closest enemy for a quick strike that initiates a combo.
I've seen a review that
Enemies
said
will also
Batgirl got the
telegraph their
most,
own attack with an
best
icon that
of
appears over them,
close
giving you
combat
plenty of
abilities
time to
as far
dodge
as
out of the
melee.
way to avoid damage. It's all super smooth, there are a ton of slick animations, and you're even rewarded for timing your button presses as opposed to just button mashing, just like in the Arkham games. And that's it. That's where the comparisons end, because everything else feels very different. Gotham Knights is much more abilities focused, with a meter at the bottom right that governs your ability to use your momentum skills. As you'd imagine, you gain meter by dealing damage and using your dodge to avoid attacks with good timing. Once you fill a bar, you can use one of your 8 equipable momentum skills for a variety of different uses. Red Hood has a close-range throw that deals a ton of damage to a single target. Robin has a holographic distraction that he can throw down to take some heat off of him and the team. Batgirl can toss out a Batarang barrage to deal a bunch of piercing damage right in front of her. And Nightwing has a cool acrobatic leap attack that lets him get the jump on an enemy from far away. There were also moments where certain momentum abilities were the key to defeating specific enemy types that were armed with powerful armored attacks. Piercing abilities beat armored attacks, for instance, so anytime I saw an enemy with a red attack warning, I had to counter with my own piercing attack, whether that was Batgirl's Batarang Barrage or Robin's Staff Spin attack. All of this sounds great, and I'm very much looking forward to the progression of getting to unlock new momentum abilities, purchase skills that synergize with them, find and craft new pieces of gear, add mods that further enhance certain effects, and find a preferred playstyle for each of my characters when the game actually comes out. My concern is how well that progression, those momentum abilities, the gear, and the deep well of customization options are going to be able to carry the whole experience, because, on a fundamental level, I found Gotham Knights combat to be very flashy, but also kind of bland. Fights quickly started to feel very routine, with very similar enemies in every encounter, to the point where I felt like I had to mix up my tactics, not because I was being forced to, but just to try to make things a little more interesting. My favorite character ended up being Red Hood, because he excelled at a hybrid style of both range and melee, which felt quite different from what everyone else was able to do. Plus, he had some neat tricks, like being able to grab an enemy, place a bomb on them, and then kick them away so you can explode the bomb with a gunshot. The other characters have their fun surprises too. They all generally control the same, which makes jumping between them very easy, but they each have their own combat/stealth focuses and playstyles that are defined by what you put points into on their skill tree. Batgirl can be built to be a single target DPS machine, or a nearly uninterruptible tank that can self-revive, or a stealthy hacker that can make herself invisible to security cameras. Nightwing can build himself to enhance his jumping abilities and deal massive critical hit damage. He can become a slippery acrobat that gets extra dodges and faster momentum meter gain, or he can be built more like a team leader designed for co-op play. Red Hood can lean more heavily into his range attacks by giving them higher crit chances and more damage. He can become more of a close-range bruiser that aims to get in and grab his opponents, or he can increase the damage he deals towards various different factions of enemies. And finally, Robin can build himself to have a game plan centered around his decoy. He can become a true Batman successor by investing in stealth skills, including Arkham game mainstays like Vantage Takedowns, or he can focus on gadgetry and elemental damage. Just by glancing at the skill tree, it's easy to see that there's a lot to get excited about for each character every time you gain skill points. And that's where I'm torn on Gotham Knights. When I look at the skill trees, the locked momentum abilities, the wide variety of suits that I can unlock, and I think about going through it all with a buddy and taking on more challenging missions, I can't help but get excited at the idea of what Gotham Knights could be. But in my playtime with this demo, things were very far off from that idealized version. Beyond combat, Gotham Knights is very impressive. The city of Gotham is absolutely gorgeous. The many different modes of traversal are all fun in their own way, whether that's by motorcycle, Batgirl's glide, Nightwing's glider, Red Hood's mystical air hops, or Robin's short-range teleportation. The Belfry seems like an awesome headquarters full of optional conversations that deepen the relationships between the four heroes. And you can even play Spy Hunter. And the cooperative play feels extremely well implemented. Since the demo was so focused on the Harley Quinn subplot, I didn't get much of a feel for the overall story of Gotham Knights and how the Court of Owls fits into everything, but I'm very into what I've seen of the characters so far. There are great dynamics between each of them, with the standout for me being between Red Hood and Nightwing. Nightwing's trying his best to step into the role of a leader, while Red Hood finds himself struggling between his thirst for violence and his desire to honor the legacy of Batman. There's a great scene in the Belfry where Nightwing inadvertently touches a nerve by bringing up a story that sets Jason off. And you really get to see the pain and anger that Red Hood is struggling to keep under the surface.
I don't know what's worse. Having a chunk of my life taken away from me, or coming back to everyone thinking I'm gonna snap.
I'm sorry, Jason. We shouldn't have... I shouldn't have treated you like an outsider.
It's very Guardians of the Galaxy-esque, and if Gotham Knights can pack the whole game with moments like this, then its characters will almost certainly become a highlight of the whole experience. Also, just so you know, this whole fight in the prison,
was a good game
it's
to me.
set to a punk rock version of Livin' La Vida Loca.
Hey. You gotta fight the cops too?
So, you know, that's the thing. Gotham Knights is not an easy game to demo, and while I walked away from my hands-on time less than impressed with many aspects of combat, I still found myself interested in playing more. We'll see how it all comes together when Gotham Knights releases on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on October 21st. For more on Gotham Knights, don't miss the first 16 minutes of gameplay, as well as Harley Quinn's boss fight.
Just a preview. I heard a guy say it was a build they did. The game's coming out in a couple of weeks. It's not going to be for everybody. No game meals. We know this. Like, come subscribe, guys. Y'all know how we feel about the game over here. We're going to play it. We're going to give the game a shot. And that's what we're going to do, man. I'm going to play it. If I don't like it after I'm done with it, then I say that. If I find little things I don't like, y'all see in the Let's Plays that I put out about it. And on weekends, we play it live on Sunday nights, most likely. So y'all come through and check it out. Like, come subscribe, guys. Appreciate your love and support. Thanks for always rocking with your boy, and I'll see you next one. Peace.